Now to a story you'll only see exclusively on WTOL 11. A former Jeep worker is calling for action. He alleges 2 union leaders assaulted him while he was working.
Now he wants something done. Michael Sandlin joins us live tonight. Michael, he actually called WTOL 11 to tell us what was going on. Tell me more.
Yeah, Dan, Kaylee, Kurt Kruger picked up the phone after he says he was beaten by 2 union stewards while on the job. He told police about the incident just before Christmas of last year, and now he's still out of work. And tonight he's fighting back against what he says the company claims.
Kind of like being in a car wreck. There was nothing, no broken bones or nothing like that, but it was, you know, I had some scrapes, some bruises. I ended up with a black eye, and I got beat up.
That's Kruger's account of what happened on the evening of December 22nd, 2024. He says the Jeep plant was getting ready to shut down for the holidays. That typically means most workers take time off. But Kruger says he wanted the overtime for a very personal reason.
I wanted to work so I could go visit my my fiance's gravesite in Idaho.
But he says his shift lead rejected the request. According to this police report filed by Kruger, he confronted 2 of his union leaders in their office.
There were cuss words. There was raised voices by myself and by the other parties. Mr. gets up out of his seat, comes towards me, and swings on me.
Kruger told police that's when one of the men grabbed his hoodie and both men physically assaulted him, records show.
I was getting hit from both sides, punched, stomped on. And at that point, after about 20, 30 seconds, they just stopped. I was shaking. I think I was actually probably crying.
Kruger told police he got up and ran out of the office. You can see in this screenshot, he first called the Jeep plant chairman multiple times. While he waited for a response, Kruger says he called plant security, who then called Toledo police. According to the police report, the responding officers also talked to the other 2 men involved. They said there was no physical altercation. It was Kruger's word against theirs. However, there was a 4th man there that night.
I have no dog in this fight. I get along with the stewards. I get along with the union. I get along with Kurt. I had no issues with Kurt, but I saw what I saw.
That's Todd Santis, a Jeep employee who also works alongside Kruger. And he claims he was in the hall outside the office that night right as things started to get heated. According to this filed HR report obtained by WTOL 11.
I heard Kurt say, "Get out of my face," and they spilled into the hallway. One of the union officials that was out there grabs Kurt's hoodie, starts to wrestle him down. And they're going around, and I'm just in shock that this is happening. And then all of a sudden, the door to the steward's office swings open, and the union official pulls Kurt into the office.
Santis says the door then slammed shut, and that's the last of what he could see. Santis says it left him shaken, but he originally planned on minding his business and ignoring it. But then he saw Kruger at the gate with bruises that weren't there when he last saw him.
But when I seen how Kurt looked, I had no choice but to tell my side.
However, that night Kruger originally opted to not press charges, saying he didn't want to publicly embarrass his union brothers at the plant.
Me especially, I know about people making mistakes. So I wasn't going to have these guys taken out of the plant, my union brothers, no matter what happened. I wasn't going to have them taken out of the plant in handcuffs.
That same night, the company suspended Kruger pending an investigation. Kruger then went home, only to rush to the hospital after vomiting multiple times the next day. His discharge papers, seen here, show the doctor's impressions of Kruger's symptoms being, quote, assault, multiple head contusions, and neck strain. Pain in his elbows and hips were also noted. Pain that Kruger says he's still struggling with to this day.
It affects my ability to sleep. It wakes me up in the middle of the night, like there'd be shooting pain.
Later that week, Kruger followed up on seeking charges. He tells WTOL 11 both he and Santis went to the Lucas County Prosecutor's Office as instructed by the responding officer. But they say the prosecutor's office told him there wasn't enough evidence to file charges.
Pretty much, we gave our statements, gave our stories, and they said that they couldn't pursue anything because of the testimony of the other steward.
Then February 3rd, the company terminated Kruger's employment following his suspension. According to this letter, Stellantis cited a violation of the company's standards of conduct, specifically providing false information and, quote, abusive words or action that would cause reasonable people to take action against their will. 25 years of service gone.
Because I was upset, it forced them guys to have to get up out of their chairs and beat the living out of me. And therefore, I was at fault.
Meanwhile, Kruger and Santis both say the two who beat Kruger have been brought back into the fold after a 30-day suspension, a decision that Santis says has split opinion at the plant and has broken his trust with leadership.
Sometimes I don't want to go into that union office if it's nobody around. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know how others would feel too if this is going to be allowed.
In the 6 months since, Kruger's tried everything to prove his innocence to Stellantis. He filed a claim with the Ohio Industrial Commission, and after their investigation, they awarded him temporary full disability, as shown in these reports. And he even shared documentation proving he passed a polygraph test sharing his version of events. And yet, his termination went unchanged. Kruger says after all these years of service, he just doesn't understand the treatment.
You don't attack the person that's reporting this. You know, I came forward with this when it happened, and I've been treated like, you know.
Now, we didn't name the two guys accused of beating up Kruger because as of right now, there are no formal charges against them. Meanwhile, I spoke to leadership at UAW Local 12. They say they're currently in the process of filing a grievance in favor of Kruger. I reached out to Stellantis leadership. They say no comment. Reporting in North Toledo, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.